Today's MMA Tea Company fight preview is with newly signed MMA fighter Matt Martinez. Matt is 3-1 amateur MMA fighter. He's going to be fighting for Fight Card Entertainment on April 3rd. He'll be taking on Malik Willis, who is 2-1. Matt, thanks for joining me today. It looks like you're coming in from the gym. Not just necessarily a quick turnaround, but a very quick turnaround nonetheless for you coming off of a fight just a few weeks ago. How's the body? How you feeling going into this next fight on the 3rd?
I'm feeling pretty good. Body feels good, like a well-oiled machine. My last fight, I didn't take any damage. It was a 5-second knockout. So it was a good fight camp, but this one just feels even better. Everything's firing on all cylinders. My wrestling, my cardio, my boxing, everything's looking super sharp. So I don't want to waste it. I want to get back out there and put a good performance on and see where we go from there.
Yeah, I saw the highlight of your 5-second knockout. I said to my partner Alex, basically, Matt Martinez is a scary dude. Like, he's coming out to take your head off. Where does that how'd you develop your fight style? How'd you get into the sport? It looks like you're in a boxing gym now. Do you have a boxing background, wrestling? Talk me through how you got started.
So this person right here,
hi Rachel.
Hi. Hi guys.
The other half of Team Martinez, she was the one fighting. I've seen her. I saw her fight on the TV at one of the bars I was working at, and then this was before I knew her. But we ended up reaching out, becoming mutual friends, and she told me about her gym that she trains at and how they have like a lot of good guys my size to train with. And I gave it a shot. I was, I've wrestled. I wrestled for 20 years. I wrestled out of Cicero, Illinois at Morton High School and in the youth program, the Illinois Kids Wrestling Federation growing up with the Little Mustangs. So, at the time I was like coaching the youth program and helping out with high school wrestling. And I thought I could, I wanted to help her out a little bit. But I hadn't trained myself in a long time. So I came out here, I tried, and our gym has a lot of, well-known fighters, UFC, Bellator, we got a bunch of studs in here. And everybody in the amateurs all like ranked, top, 1, 2, and 3 guys. So I came in here and I did very well, especially trying to impress her. I, came out here, shined when it came to wrestling, did everything I wanted to do, and, gave 110% effort. And it caught the eye of my coach, Coach Alex. And, afterwards, he pulled me to the side, and he was really excited. And then the next day, we had MMA striking class, and he noticed a huge gap in my training. So, I took a fight. It didn't go my way. I, was eager to get a win. I had, I made a couple goals in my, for myself, just stayed quiet and had those goals in my head. And, we just stuck to the striking, kept my wrestling foundation. And, I've just been working on my striking. My wife, Rachel, she, helped me out so much with pad work. My coach Barry Hoppin, he helped me out tremendously with my striking. And every day just training with all these killers, it gives me the confidence I need when I step in there that I'm ready for whatever they got to dish.
And it's interesting you said about your first fight, right? Because it seems like you didn't have a ton of experience in striking and you took the fight anyway, but then I'm looking at your record and it looks like you took, almost 2 years off. And after that layoff is when you're, win doctor stoppage, win unanimous decision, win 5-second knockout. So, is it safe to say you put a lot of time and effort into your striking over those 2 years before you went back into the cage?
Yeah, I was, Corona had hit a lot of a lot of fighters were not fighting. Like all these organizations were kind of closed down and nobody was doing much except the UFC was barely making, they had all their stuff in Abu Dhabi. And as weird as it sounds, it was perfect for me because not all these people were going out there and getting all these fights and experience as well. And it just gave me the time to just train and focus on what I don't like to do. And it shortly became like Tuesdays and Thursdays, the days we spar, like, and stand-up days. I hated those days. I dreaded those days. I did not want to be there. I was so uncomfortable. And all that, going with the hard hitters and the good strikers and the good boxers and the good kickboxers, all those rounds turned me into, the guy that's going to go in there and knock your head out in 5 seconds. I'm confident when I go in there. I know, I got tools now to establish what I want to do. And I'm always threatening with the wrestling. So someone that can take your head off and then take you down at the same time, like, that's a lot to think about. Thinking about that, I would not want to fight me, so I feel bad for this guy that got to do it. So it is what it is.
I feel bad for him too. And it's one of those things, right? When you're going into a fight, that confidence is so important, right? You see some guys get in the cage and you can just see they're visibly nervous and they don't perform well.
Right.
Is that something that you've kind of had your whole life in competition? Was that confidence going into, from wrestling or whatever, or is that something that you had to learn over time?
No, it was kind of like I've always felt like I've had something to prove within myself, and it's just a lot of it was always when I wrestle, I always wanted to make my mom proud, and that's where a lot of that comes from. My mom was always every wrestling tournament I had, my mom was always in the crowd, the loudest person in the room. One of my closest memories or fondest memories was a tournament where me and the guy butted heads, and he started gushing blood all out of his nose, and it got quiet, super quiet. It was a packed arena, but blood time they called injury time. Everybody got super quiet, and my mom just screams, "Yeah, fuck him up," and everybody started bursting out laughing. So it was cool, like my mom always had that killer mentality in herself, and I adapted to that. I've always wanted to make her proud, and she passed away, but she's a huge motivation for even till this day. And yeah, I go out there and I have all the confidence in the world that with my training and my coaching and my wife, and now the confidence comes from putting on a good performance to make my wife proud, to make my coaches proud and my teammates proud, and overall the gym. The rest falls in place,
Sure. And you mentioned Rachel there a couple times. I don't know too many married couples that are both actively fighting, actively pursuing MMA careers, but it has to be something that does kind of exude confidence and help you in the cage or during camp when you're cutting weight or whatever that may be, where a lot of times someone's partner doesn't understand what they're going through, but at home you and Rachel can talk about why you're banged up, what you're working on at camp, this thing, that thing. So is it safe to say fighting is 24/7 with you two, where you can at any time pick it up and talk about it or talk about what's going on?
Oh, definitely. It's we're always trying to make we're always trying to make each other better. Like, that's all it is. And especially when we see each other like slacking or something, she's like, "Hey, pick it up." You could be tired later, pick it up, let's go. And that is a huge motivation. When we don't want to go to some of our best practices, and this goes for everybody, is the ones you don't want to go to, and then you go to them, you just destroy in practice, and that's us for each other. For one time, one thing that she's great at, I might not be good at, but I'm going there and I'm getting the training at, and it works by both ways. So it's very it's like cheating almost. It's like I got my best friend and teammate and my wife all in one. So
it's funny because you can't sit there and cry about the weight cut or anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand. I'm like, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
So it just like, I just look at it. I'm like, I already know.
Yeah. I'll be taking a hot bath. She's like, I want to say, just say how I'm feeling. I was like, she's gonna tell me shut up. So
he doesn't care.
Like, it's gonna be soon. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like we know.
Yeah, Rachel, you're right around the corner. We'll set up your interview here soon.
Yeah. 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 So that she said it just like it is.
Yeah. And, switching gears a little bit, I know you were in the Marine Corps, you haven't been fighting for that long, but something that was always really cool to me was when I would post on social media, hey, I got a fight coming up, and there'd be people coming out of the woodwork that I hadn't seen since high school, right? 10 years later, they're hitting me up, hey, can I get a shirt? Hey, can I get a ticket? It's got to be pretty cool with, your buddies from the Marine Corps reaching out to you and saying, hey, we support you, or hey, we want to come see you fight. What's that like, that dynamic for you?
It's amazing. That's to me, it's like reinforcement that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path. I have my old chief warrant officer, my old officers, sergeant majors calling me or posting about me or buying my merchandise and telling me I'm doing a good job. And those are people that I've held, like, literally gone to war with, So it's a pretty amazing feeling, especially when I walk out there and I see all the USMC flags, the Marine Corps flags, everybody repping our gear. It's it's an overwhelming feeling. Sometimes promotions will surprise me and play the Marine Corps song without me even noticing, or every once in a while I'll have like just a random video chat, of one of my buddies calling me up and just telling me, talking about old stories and telling me how they're proud of me, or just keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's like I said, it's just the best reinforcement that I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and just to keep grinding harder. Like people are watching.
Absolutely. And that is enough motivation in and of itself sometimes, just knowing that there's so much support and so many people out there that are that got your back.
Yeah, definitely.
And coming up for this fight on the 3rd, I know we talked a little bit about how it's not necessarily a short turnaround, but it's not, you haven't had that much time off. What do you know about your opponent? What are you expecting to see when you get out in the cage?
I actually seen this guy a lot, like at the fights. We, like the Fight Card Entertainment, they have a couple of the same fighters. So he was actually watching my last fight, so I don't think he was too happy about that outcome. I saw them hating on me, but it is what it is. I seen him around. He fought my teammate, which was his last loss. And I feel like he kind of wants to do what I do, except I do it a lot better. So I know him very well. We got good bodies to mimic his style. We got a good fighter who's just in there with him. We got a W. So I have all the tools I need to, get my hand raised at the end of this fight.
Awesome, man. We're looking forward to it. Before I let you go, just want to give you a chance, shout out your sponsors, your teammates, people who are supporting you through this.
Yes, definitely. So I wanted to give a shout out to the Carry in Chicago. At the end of my fight, that's where we always host the fight, the after parties. They're the best in the business. IJEX Transport, obviously MMAT for getting my gear out there. TMH for also getting my gear out there. Let me see, Franco with my new tattoo artist, who Team Sexy Time, the fitness, always keeping us on check, and Apex Nutrition as well. Did I miss anybody?
DNA.
Yes, and DNA. DNA is one of our new sponsors. Their logo, I seen them. Then Do Nothing Average is exactly like everything that me and my wife embody. Nothing we do is average, but it's what gives us it's what separates from us from everybody else. So those are all my sponsors. Or they make it a little easier for us to do what we need to do, and it's always cool having people like rooting for us. So I want to thank them.
Awesome, man. We're looking forward to your fight on the 3rd. Kick some ass. We'll see you on the other side.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the time.
All right, thank you.